And that's when I had the question, can this $79 microphone come close or even beat this $250 microphone? And honestly, I was shocked. Alright, what's up guys? My name is JacQ or JacQ, but I think I need to explain my story with both of these mics. So for some time now, I've been wanting to upgrade my mic, but of course that leads to massive amounts of research. And after my many hours of research, I decided to go with the Shure MV7. So I bought the mic, set it up, and then 2 days later, I get an email. The email is from a marketing specialist over at FiFine, and until this point, I've never heard of FiFine at all, so immediately I was a bit suspicious. So of course I went back and did more research, but very quickly I found out this is not some sketch company. Not only was this not a sketchy company, they wanted to send me their flagship microphone to do a review. And that's when I realized it. I'm gonna rip this microphone apart. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to give a fair review. I just felt like the circumstances led to an interesting video. So let's go ahead and introduce our first mic, the FiFine K690, coming in at $79.99. FiFine sent me this microphone and I made sure they wouldn't get upset if I said bad things about it. Trust me, I asked. Now this condenser microphone sports your standard gain knob on the back so you can adjust the volume of your mic pretty easily. Then right below that you have a knob dedicated strictly for the 4 different polar patterns of this mic. But for the most part, if you're just streaming and making content, you're probably only going to be using the cardioid pattern just because it's typically best for that scenario. Then on the bottom of this microphone, you have a micro USB jack to connect this to your computer. Then you also have a screw hole on the bottom to connect this to any mic arm mount that you can connect to your desk or one that sits on the ground, whatever you like. And then lastly, on the bottom here, we have a headphone jack. So not only can you monitor your audio coming through this microphone in real time, but you can also pull the audio from your computer and basically use it as a headset. All right, now we're done with the bottom and the back of this microphone, but on the front, you also have a knob to adjust the sound coming through that headphone jack on the bottom of this mic. And then lastly, the most important thing of them all, a mute button that also lights up green or red if you're, muted or not. And next up, we have the Shure MV7 coming in at a whopping $249, 3 times the price of that K690. This mic has many of the same features of the K690, such as the micro USB on the bottom to connect to your computer, a headphone jack to monitor your audio, and on top of those features, it's got this nice little touch panel in the front here that allows you to adjust the gain, mute the microphone, and then adjust the volume coming through that headphone jack as well. And lastly, this mic supports an XLR output, so if you want to go more in depth with your audio through a mixer or something like that, it has that as well. Now, right off the bat, I'm not going to try to lie to you guys and just ignore all the bells and whistles of the MV7. I mean, it's a $250 microphone for a reason. For example, the fancy touch panel on the bottom and also the Shure software that comes with this mic, but that doesn't really mean much. Don't get me wrong, the bells and whistles are very nice and the software is cool too, but I want to see how these microphones sound. This microphone can be worth $1 million, and if it doesn't sound great, I'm still going to choose this K690. But now the question is, if I made a video with both of these microphones, would you even be able to tell the difference? We're going to do an audio test between these two mics with settings straight out of the box, and then also a little bit of a sweet test at the end. We're going to add some effects and see maybe one of these microphones isn't standing up as much as it should, and maybe we can boost it a lot more with just a little bit of changes in effects. Now for our test, we're going to have these mics very close to our face. Trust me, the closer you are to these mics, the better they're going to sound. And then also for the K690, we're going to be in the cardioid pattern because it's going to be the best thing in our situation to pick up our audio. And if you're streaming or making videos for YouTube, 90% of the time you're probably going to want to be in that cardioid pattern too. All right, so on my left we have the FiFine K690, and then on my right we have the Shure MV7. Now these are straight out of the box. I don't have any noise gates, filters, anything on them. Plus I'm going to be messing with my keyboard and mouse, and my computer is running in the background, so we're going to get some background noise to go along with this. So let's go ahead and do this audio test. So 1 2 1 2. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Gamers want GPUs but can't buy more. Crypto miners buy them all. Silicone shortage, omega lol. Now that's what these mics sound like straight out of the box, but, and this is a big but, we need to listen to these mics once we've added a couple of audio effects to them. So 1 2 1 2. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Gamers want GPUs but can't buy more. Crypto miners buy them all. Silicone shortage, omega lol. Now, what are my thoughts between these two mics? The $80 FiFine K690 or the $250 Shure MV7? Now, straight out of the box, it's easy to hear the MV7 is deeper, it's a bit more crisp, and it doesn't pick up as much background noise as the K690. But that's also because the MV7 has a lower volume compared to the K690. Like, whenever I was testing the K690, I had the gain knob turned all the way down, and it was very easy to hear that it was a lot louder than the MV7. The K690 is also a condenser microphone, which basically means it's going to pick up a lot more background noise compared to this dynamic microphone, the MV7. So straight out of the box, I think I'd have to go with the MV7 over the K690. Now that's my opinion on these mics when they're coming straight out of the box with no audio filters or anything, but once we add those audio filters, my opinion changes a little bit. Honestly, I wasn't even expecting this mic to come close, but I'm pretty shocked. Like, if you weren't playing these things back to back, you're not even going to be able to tell there's a difference. I think the gap between the audio quality and the MV7 and the K690 is extremely close once we add those effects in. And just so you guys know, I use Voicemeeter Van for these effects, and I'll put them up on screen here, and you can recreate these effects in OBS and Streamlabs OBS, but I just use Voicemeeter before I send mine to OBS. Now all I did in these effects was adjust the gain so the mics sound about the same as far as volume goes, then I put a noise gate on them to reduce the background noise going on, and then lastly I put a little bit of an echo on them, and I think that adds a nice touch to both of these mics. But like I said, after these effects, my opinion changes a lot. I think these mics become extremely close once you add those effects. I think the MV7 is just a smidgen better than the K690, and I mean it is very close. I think that the K690 still picks up on a little bit too much background noise, and I think the MV7 is still just a little bit crisper and a little more deep than this K690 can be. But at what cost? For the price of the MV7, I can buy 3 K690s. Although I think the MV7 is slightly better, it's not 3 times the price better. So I think if you have $250 to blow and you don't really care about your budget, go with the MV7 if you want it. It comes with all the bells and whistles and free software to adjust some of the sound settings before you use it. But if you want similar quality for 1/3 of the price, the K690 is clearly where it's at. If a bird flew through my window tomorrow and stole my MV7, I wouldn't go out and buy a new mic. I'd use the K690. The quality of this USB microphone at this price point is insane. And on top of this mic having pretty good audio quality, it's actually very well built in my opinion. Like, it's extremely sturdy, it's solid, it doesn't feel cheap at all, and honestly it feels just as good as the MV7 as far as build quality goes. Like, this is a sturdy microphone, and I think it's a worthwhile investment if you're looking into making content. But one more caveat to the K690: if you're gonna buy it, you need to buy a mic arm with it. There's a lot of cheap ones on Amazon for 13 or 20 bucks. You need to get one. The stand that they send you is also in very nice quality, but it's not gonna get this mic close enough to your mouth, and if it's not close enough to your mouth, the audio quality is going to drop significantly. But that doesn't change my opinion of this mic. If you can save $80 to buy it, you can save another $20 to buy a good mic arm so you can get nice and close to this mic and you can sound nice and beautiful through the sound of your own voice. Alright, and that concludes my review of the FiFine K690. This is an amazing microphone. I had a lot of fun reviewing it. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If so, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I cover a lot of content on this channel that's focused on helping you guys make content the way that you want to make it. Also, let me know down in the comments below, do you want to see a video on how to make your voice meter sound better? What do you want to see in the future? And until next time, peace. Yo, I just realized you can see the light and the extension cords right there. I feel like an idiot.